Welcome back, everybody, to Amateur Worlds Semifinals. Coachless Tyranny up 2-0 against TD Syndicate, and they're looking to close things out here in this next game. TD Syndicate, of course, doing everything in their power to avoid that fate. And we talked a little bit already, guys, about what opportunities, what choices they might have to try and move towards, maybe a more extended series here tonight. But it's not looking very good for them. Huey, what is your highest priority? What do you think is the thing that that must be addressed, no matter what, here in Game Three by TD Syndicate in order to give them a chance?
Take off blue side, and they did it. All right, awesome. That's it. All right, we're good.
Hmm,
We're good. We did it, boys. No,
we did it.
um,
Mission accomplished.
mission accomplished. No, but let's see what they're able to do. This is the scary part, though. Like I mentioned before, if TD does manage to get the win here, CT can just force the blue side, and I think will close it out either way. So I'm not too sure what can really stop the leaking right now. Hopefully, TD has a better answer. Looking at the pick and bans here, Tom Kench being taken off, Nar MF now, Wukong, Olaf, and Mordekaiser over for CT. Goferino, check out what TD just did there.
The no use move, as we call
The
it in the
no use.
business.
I
mean,
like that
Vargas
pick there.
does have that 100% win rate of this series, so
Yeah,
we're going off of
absolutely.
stats.
You gotta deny the Vagar. I mean, I do think that is actually pretty critical here for the side of Syndicate. And if you're not willing to ban it, then you have to be willing to pick it. That's just what it is. So
Whew.
I do expect this lock-in to come through. There it is. Yeah, and the Leona gonna be potentially following up here for the side of Coachless Tyranny. I do believe that was on the other foot as well so far this series, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it was actually also on Coachless Tyranny before as well.
It was on
CT,
Coachless Tyranny, was banned in game 2, though.
Mm.
so the lock-in still being uh hard and found. I really am enjoying the pick here. Um, Not being able to get the MF, but still be able to find the power from the pick and Ezreal.
Mhm.
I really like that bot lane. Not as strong, but able to provide more map coverage with Ezreal's R.
And it's similar to the Misfortune in that you tend to spike very hard in the mid game. You don't have that same super easy all in of just pressing your R button, sadly. But you have much more mobility. The earnest is much more on you to make the champion work in a sense, since you do have to be landing a lot more skill shots. Renatic Glass being locked in again though for TD Syndicate. We saw some potential from it last game, but with just how far behind they fell, it kind of fell flat.
Is true. I think I like the Viego pick here though. With the Talia pick though, very interesting. I'm not sure exactly what I like more right now. And as I think on it a little more, I think I'm liking the poke comp. I think CT's trying to build with the wombo combo CT also has brewing. But now with the bans for round two, what do they get rid of to make sure that this is good for them? And what is needed to make sure that they are good for this red side pick?
Yeah, for the side of Coachless Tyranny, it's going to be top lane and AD bans. For the side of TD Syndicate, it is going to be a jungle and top. So both top laners still needing to make their selection. I am curious, maybe if you guys could talk a little bit more about the Ezreal Leona pairing. Personally, I am not a very big fan of it necessarily. I mean, it certainly can work, but Leona is generally a very strong laning support, and Ezreal is something that really generally prefers to fall back and try and play a little bit safer during the laning phase. So it's not necessarily that they can't work well together, but it's not necessarily something that you generally think of as a strong duo. We are seeing the bans come through. Of course, it is a lot of top lane bans as well as the Jinx banned away from the side of Coachless Tyranny. So we're going to deny that pairing with the Renata. But
Oh,
what do you guys
like
think that Syndicate is going to go for their AD?
I would like a lot range. Kaisa, no. I would like a Caitlyn pick here. Maybe a Jin pick as
Mm,
well. Super strong in this meta right now. Um, but with the Leona Ezreal, the EMP a lot easier to lock down once someone is locked down by Leona. Add in the burst from it, and that is a lot of damage unanswered most of the time, where you can't even get near the Ezreal, and even when you do, he can arcane shift himself away even further, and now you're just stuck even further between a Leona and an Ezreal. Add in the cosmic shot all
all
the way
right.
down, and that can really end it to be a wrap before it even starts.
The answer is going to be Zeri, in fact.
Whoa.
I'm not the most sure about this,
Yeah.
given that Zeri can be insanely vulnerable
I mean,
if
it's
you get
uber
hit by
scaling,
even
right?
one piece of crowd control here by Coachless Tyranny. Because if one crowd control lands, you're probably getting hit by the rest, and then you're going to be dying before you're able to get your shenanigans on off. And Zeri is a shenanigans champion. You want to be able to dodge things, you want to be out of their reach, you want to be pelting away with those bullets. But it just takes one piece of crowd control here. In Coachless Tyranny, they do lock themselves in some strong scaling, some strong sidelining here with this Gwen last pick. So it's not like CT's gonna fall off in the late game. You do have decent scaling with the Ezreal, you have strong scaling with the Gwen. It's a very all-around package from CT, and the earnest I feel is on Syndicate really here, fellas, to make or break
Yeah.
here.
I mean, I don't think that was ever really in doubt. I mean, considering the fact that they're down 0-2 in the series, the pressure was always on Syndicate to try and make the comeback happen here in this third game to bring us to a potential game 4 or even a potential game 5. But given the fact that we see all of these pretty strong picks come through for Coach's Tyranny, they have a pretty well-rounded composition themselves. I think it's looking pretty grim for Syndicate. Of course, we are going to be getting into the game pretty shortly. We are going to need to go to a break first. So I'll go ahead and get your predictions right now. Maybe Huey, I'll come to you first this time around. This time, TD Syndicate, they drafted a decent amount of scaling for themselves. They have denied the Vagar finally here in this third
Finally.
game. Will that be enough? Are we going to game 4? What do
You
you think?
took the MF away. You got the Vigar. You got blue side. You have the Orn. I'm just not a big fan of the Zeri. Other than that, though, I think everything is firing for all cylinders. CT, on the other hand, grabbing a lot out of their pool. I like the Talia pick. I like the Zac pick. A lot of CC, add in the Leona, plus the Gwen in Mune dancing around, adding in her needles and that true damage can really, really set the pace. And I think CT may be able to withstand the might of TD and be able to close this out.
Okay, Gwen OP enough to give TD a win, potentially. Gopher, what are your thoughts? Do you think the Scissors will emerge triumphant?
Yeah, because when I look at TD Syndicate's composition here, crew, it is really hard for them to execute because you're looking for these hard, long pop off fights where Viego gets resets, where the Zeri is just able to go to town and pelt away. The main question is, like, how do you realistically start off those fights? You have Call of the Forge God, that's something, but what's the follow up to that? And TD Syndicate, there's just a lot of wildcard factors, a lot of question marks in my head as to how the hell they're supposed to approach fights and get the optimum thing they want here. All the while, when I look at CT's composition, it's very straightforward. You have a lot of burst, you have the sustained damage from this Gwen, you have straightforward engage, you have some long range, you have some mid range, you have some close range. It's a bit of everything. Jack of all trades composition, very simple, very straightforward, and has been working for CT so far this series. And just simplicity in general has been working out for most of the winners here in Amateur World. So CT for me.
Okay, guys. Well, we're ready now to get into our third and potentially a final game of the night as the Elemental League finals repeat themselves. This match is for a spot in the coveted grand finals next week. The AW semis start or potentially conclude right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, IBS semifinals is on the way, and this may be match point. CT up 2 now on the red side, as Syndicate will now be taking on to the blue side. And I don't know, man. This is a very scary game. The pressure is definitely on. One is leaving, the other team is eating, and right now it's looking like CT is going to be eating well.
Bit like a buffet, high-end buffet, not like a $10 buffet you go to. Those $10 buffets, you go to them if you're really, really down bad, or you just really, really need food in you. Otherwise, I would stay off of them personally.
This is the 5-star one for sure here. Downfall with the dashes again, man. And he was a very slippery character with the Fiora, and now Gwen is immune. You hate to see those words come up. So I am nervous to see what happens here in the next couple minutes.
Because the thing is, the Gwen is similar to the Fiora in that it's easy to do the Gwen version of the riposte on the Ornn ultimate here. Because when the Call of the Forge God comes out, you just kind of go immune. And when Gwen is immune, you can't land that Call of the Forge God all that easily, to say the least. So it's going to give you a lot of safety here against any potential ganks. Because Super Square, not really going to be the biggest threat when it comes to locking down this Gwen if it is a gank in the top side. It's going to be down to those Searing Charges. It's going to be down to those Call of the Forge Gods. And if either of those don't land, you won't sneeze, but you probably also won't get the gank off.
That is true. Checking on top side here. Downfall just applying a lot of pressure there. Really starting to try to take control of the lane as much as he can with the level ahead there. About 50% there too on the lost on trades here. As we see both our junglers will be on the bot side here. Super Square just clearing out their red side. Zach finishing his blue side here. I think is looking more ready. And nope, I think he's gonna actually go for the clear instead. Didn't go for the early cheese bot or mid.
I mean, you can. It's just a little tricky to do so. And always better on both sides, really, whether you're the one on match point or whether you're the one from behind. In some senses. Oh, okay, bit of a gank in the bot side, but one arcane shift just ensures it's safety.
Yeah, and I love that about Ezreal. It is very difficult to stick to an Ezreal in a gank or in lane, and still able to add on the damages too from such a safe space, almost as far back as Cave, but not as much. Square is going to come back around. A bunch of flashes will be procced there. Ramirez will drop the handshake to bring him back.
No, why are you going back in, buddy?
Into the fight, and I don't think that was the right call. First Blood will be going back over to a top side there. Almost losing the fight there. Rocky will gank mid lane there and be able to pick up Lemon Sap. So it is a 1-1 across the board.
But the fact that we see the Syndicate able to get that first blood there, some nice momentum under their wings here, because we're talking about their momentum. It's definitely been low altitude for the most part this series. A little bit of gas, a little bit of juice in the tank, so to speak. Can go a long way to rally yourself from behind, and it does go to Super Square, who can snowball as this Viego. you do have to keep this momentum going. You can't really just rest on your laurels like this if you're the Syndicate. You want to get yourself a nice dominating lead. You want to demoralize the enemy here and put yourself in a very moralized spot, to say the least, Huey.
I don't know if you can demoralize from match point there on a game point. Maybe if you get the second game there, then you can start getting a little worried. Also, you're on weak side too. So even, honestly, CT can really kind of end this game and then just go to blue side, because I don't think they have the answer for blue just yet.
I don't have an answer quite yet, but they do have bans, so it's something, I guess. It is always a hard thing. I don't think the blue side is as hard of a win con in this series, because I know it's been a bit of a meme recently after the MSI finals, but when you're talking about the highest levels of play where you can just assume everybody plays every champion, you can run literally any composition, then side selection matters much more. In terms of average Joe leagues like this, like Amateur Worlds, or the Average Joe Worlds, if you want to put it like that, what matters more is your access to the Dragon or Bear when it comes to side selection. Gank in the bot lane.
Back up to the bot lane here.
Okay, the bomb.
Follow up with the CC. Bailout is gonna keep them up a little bit, but it's not going to be enough there. Gonna be able to pick up Super Square too. Really nice. A lot of poke still going on for Raining Wolves there. Agent 6 starting to get amped up.
Amped up and hyped up.
Oh, this might be a re-engage here. And yeah, thinking that Zach was gone, he was not. That was a really good call here. Check out Jump here too. Now back here, now picking up Ramirez. This is an awesome pickup there. What a ramp up there into a slow start from both sides.
That should just be first Dragon here again for Coachless Tyranny. More than happy to pick up this Cloud Dragon. Gets themselves a little bit of Nikes to zoom around on the Rift on. This stream is not sponsored or affiliated with Nikes, but...
Nike, come please hit us up though.
Nike, please hit up a one Jake XNLSC to help sponsor us.
That'd be crazy. Could you imagine, bro?
I can imagine, yeah. It's not hard to imagine.
That is true. Cloud Drake will be picked up there. A slight lead gap will start to come out. Downfall looking a little low on the percentages here, but I don't know if the dive is necessarily fully there just yet. As we look down 2-0 right now for Chung. Really starting to pick up in these later games. Lost chapter already in their belt. Bot lane 2, 1, and 4 already. Comparatively, it is the 0-2-2 bot lane.
Yeah, 0-2-2. 2 for 2. Okay,
not too bad. But I would really prefer to have Zeri with at least a 1 kill here. Other than on the Super Square here, who did pass one back over on the gank bot lane. And really, a lot of the noticing here is that power in that first Dragon here, and then the control here to the first Rift Herald coming on in. 1500, 5465 plus a steal. Rocky don't miss. Rocky don't not get any of the secures, and he is just going to bounce on away. Call the Iron Force still available, but they're not going to continue moving forward with it, and that's going to be an easy pickup. And these are the small details here that really...
Wait.
Down up there, Agent 6 is gonna find their way in. The smoke coming from from Rymez is not going to be enough there. But Agent 6 will be able to find a kill there with the lightning crash. So able to get something underneath there and kind of slow down this bot lane.
Yep. That's the bailout power from the Renata Glass. You know, you're able to get that reset, and it's just the enemy support left. You're usually able to win that one because the enemy support is not going to finish you off even with 20% health after they've used all their cooldowns and whatnot. So, nice little pickup here for the Syndicate. They do get that kill onto Siri that you did want to see. They're still very far behind, though, all things considered in this game when it comes to just the vibe, so to speak.
Chung over here controlling and damaging over the side of the map, the side of the rocks there. Really nice work. Drops him in, back into the frost. Rocky back again for the gank plus the flash. This still has the GA, but not going to be able to find a kill on the Viger, but is going to have to force him away. Looking over to the top side, the duel is going on, but the longer the fight goes, it goes towards Crockpot. And Downfall not finding how the pace they normally find in these games. It is just about even top lane. Oh, here goes again. Nice control there from Ramirez. Handshake is going to come in. Solar Flare is going to land. Heartbreak Kid coming on in. They're going to follow on back. Super Square is going to find Albedo yet once again. Don't know about these re-engages coming from the side of Albedo.
Not exactly working out in their favor. You do get another kill in this ball lane, which is a feels good, man, if you're on the side of Syndicate. You're getting some momentum back in this game after a devastating just 4-1 gap. Now on much more even footing, you have a tiny goal lead for yourself. Nothing to write home about.
Nice damage coming in from Frogpot. Is going to have to dash away. The 2 shots is going to go in, followed up with the needle play, but it's still not going to be enough work to finish it. Going back over to the bot lane, Agent 6 is going to come in, Lightning Storm is going to come in, Albedo holding back the back line, while Ramirez is going to pick that one up. Super Squad is going to continue forward with the Heartbreak Kid, going to force the goo to pop. Lemon Sap is going to clean up the mess, and this is the snowball that is starting to roll down the hill and starting to look like it's going to get out of control. Flash is going to have to be procced there, and he is back and going for more. Raining Bull's going to have to check himself here. He may get caught.
Okay, that's a big slow. There is no cage. You just got to press the button. Press the button? Yep, that's it.
Are available and finds their way through. Chung Mung looking to try to pick something up. Will be able to grab the Viger there. Downfall has the TP. Dragon is not being able to pick up from how low they were, so able to pick up kills and get a lead in kills and gold, but not in the Dragon department yet.
Not quite yet. Oh,
nice snipe.
That is a nice little recall stop there. That can be important when it comes to contesting this dragon, because the fact that the Syndicate has to recall here, recharge the health juice, so to speak, and then come back, means you're just able to do this on the side of Coach's Tyranny. Walk into the pit, clear out some vision, set up for yourself, even start up the dragon if you do so please. Put yourself up to that early 2-0 elemental buff lead. You got a very beefy team. We got a little extra juice from that Earth Dragon. It's going to be that Infernal Rift, so Infernal Dragon's very great for when it comes to closing out games for obvious reasons, to say the least.
Slightly lacking in damages on the side of CT. Infernal Drake definitely could help alleviate that, and with such a early Drake at about 24 minutes, as long as they're able to keep securing them, can really seal the deal and close this one out. So I think this is the way CT wants to continue playing this game, and I think that is the way CT is going to find the win here.
Oh.
Crockpot
I'm just
pushing
waiting in
forward
this
here.
top lane because
Might be able to get the gank here.
It's
Fortunately,
gonna be
Iron
very
Bolt is
hard.
available. No one is there to help them either at all. But they are gonna recall back there, gonna get the reset. Triforce locked in for the bot lane. Zeri's Triforce right around the corner. So I wonder in this next exchange if this really gonna make the difference between the one item or not.
it is a huge power spike for you able to get it. The fact that it gives you all that just extra move speed for zooming around in fights and the Sheen proc that's juiced up. It is noticeable.
A slight pause here. Rymed's clearing out the vision here. Gonna make it a little more difficult to see this Viego approaching. Crockpot really trying to find their way in the top side here. Herald will be spawning, and you already see Rocky already locked in on it. Let's see here. Crockpot is going to be there to try to answer. It's going to have to retreat back away from it. 6k left onto it. Lemon Sap is here as well. It may re-rotate around to try and keep the vision here. It's going to be a 3v2. He may have to give it up. Doesn't have the respawn available. 1,000 left. Spawn is going to be able to be hit towards the Iron Ball is coming.
Okay, does cut the bounce.
The gate. The CC equals G. G, nice pickup there. Blocks the bounce. Able to pick up one. And the first Herald for their side.
And bada bing, bada boom. That is first turret of the game picked on up. So there's a gold lead secured here. Noticeable one at that. If you are the Syndicate, bop up, knock up. You're not gonna outlast this Gwen though.
Not going to at all. Downfall coming on in. Scissors cut, and you're starting to see him break on through. But I think Viego is here to break the door. Heartbreak Kid coming in. Super Square starting to really pop off here.
Yep. I mean, that is the power of the Gwen. That was a Gwen with just the Leeching Leer, a literal, like, Merchants and a component for their Mythic, outdueling an Ornn with the completed Iceborne and the Warden's Mail. But, you know, then Super Square comes, so that kind of seals the deal on the top side. It does show that there is a little bit of hope here for Coachless Tyranny. You do still have that strong threat. You have this 3-0 to Leah. You're not completely out of this yet, but you are on the back foot very heavily. And you're going to want to fight tooth and nail for this next dragon, because right now your big ticket in this game is the fact that you can fight for the soul.
You're gonna need to. 3k deficit here with the lead. You're gonna not want to lose any dragons here. If you lose this dragon, it's only going to slow you down that much more. Syndicate all over, clearing out the vision. They may just, unfortunately, have to, because I don't know if they're going to be able to win this fight.
It's extremely tricky. It's coming on in. They do at least have some vision here, but Downfall's in the top side still, so...
Chung is coming in, looking for the R.
They're too late if they want to contest
approach, but yeah, that is definitely unfortunate there, as they're going to try to force the siege mid. And no, they're not going to get much at all, honestly. And that just slows the pace down there. And that 24 dragon is now a 29-minute dragon.
Such a huge mood dampener. It does still mean at the very least, since you have these early two dragons, okay. Bonga bongo. Get the bonk.
DC. Crockpot is going to have to try to force the retreat here. There goes the needlework, putting on the damage. Unfortunately, the Iron Call God is going to whiff there. Crockpot slowly but surely is breaking on down. but there goes the hot.
Oh no, they can't finish Crockpot.
Crockpot to keep himself alive. The exhaust to force back a downfall. And Agent 6 is not going to only pick up one, but she's going to zap their way to a double kill. Call it a flip, because that is a burger. What a crazy fight there.
Man, oh man. Yeah. Extremely close, but it's a tanky Ornn. You are unstoppable, by the way. And yeah, you just kind of get 2 kills on this Zeri. Now 3-1 and 5 from 0-1-1. Bot lane was looking kind of a little bit doomed earlier on for the Syndicate, but now looking much better. Looking much better here, to say the least, Huey. You're pushing in onto the inhibitor turrets here. Yeah, Rocky's kind of got to respond to this. Say, hey, please, no, no, no.
Yeah, 4-2-12 bot lane to the 2-5-5 right now. Really, really pushing it up. And really, that is definitely what is needed. And you can see the difference in the bot lanes here as with Syndicate ahead, ready to go, looking to try to get this first game under their belts and looking at all cylinders except just they have to get a handle on this chunk. If they can handle this Talia, that should be it and all she wrote for this game 3.
Is about just ending it on out.
Just huge knock up there. Damage coming back from the bot lane as well.
Good.
Chunk though. There goes the cyber hack there from Ramirez, and that's going to be one on the pickup. They're still looking for more. Lemon Slap finds Leona, but
yeah, that's a good knock up. These are some shutdowns. They're grabbing.
Lightning Storm is going to hit for Agent 6, but it's only going to hit one champ. Rocky looking for more, but Agent 6 on the rampage. Super Soft Square was not there for the entire fight, but Scary is going to be taken up. Super Square looking to try to pick up something on these low 3 characters, but not going to be able to find much. And honestly, that is definitely looking for the side of CT.
I mean, that's just a straight up team fight win for them. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You get 3 for 2. Nothing else happens. Yep, that's a team fight win.
That's scary. If you're on the side, if you're on Syndicate side there, you do not want to see that ever again. Ever again. You get maybe another one, if that, but you don't even want to risk that. You want to keep everyone where they are, and you have to lock down this chunk. If you don't lock down this chunk, there will be issues, and the game will not continue to be as easy as it is. 4K deficit right now over for the side of CT. Let's see how much further they can increase it, or if they'll be able to bring it on back. This handshake taking down Leona as of right now. Solar Flare is going to come down. The knockback coming from Talia is going to force Super Square to flash away towards the team. We're going to keep Albedo alive and look to see what is the next move for these teams. Cortino.
Left the cage. Horn coming on out.
Horn coming up, doesn't hit anybody.
That's what we call the field goal ulti.
So this is CT's window of opportunity opening up. Dragon in the next 15 seconds. If they want to do something, I think this is the best chance that they have as of right now.
Okay, that's a good pop-up slingshot. This should be 1 kill.
Combo, Super Soft Square on the back. He's going to be able to get away. Rocky still doesn't have passive and is going to die. Berserk is going to land there, and that's going to be the dub for Zeri. I thought this fight was looking better for them, but no, Agent 6 just cannot be found and stuck to, and it's just going to start raining bullets all over them. Rampage is well over for Super Square, unable to find him as well. And yeah, I think they are finally starting to find their pace that is needed to kind of put the stop to CT's rage.
Able to get 1 off the board here, most likely. Off the back of a fight that they were able to turn around despite the early pick. Just the bailout from this Renata Glass that's Ramirez is piloting. Helping quite a bit there with that pick, and then everybody just dashing on in, eating up a ton of this Agency 6 damage. Oh, a little too late there. Able to dash on out, but that is Baron buff picked up into Infernal Dragons here for the Syndicate, so they have to feel pretty good about themselves, to say the least.
That is an extra 8% on the AD and AP. You can't ask for much more. You just need to kind of close this out and call it a day and finally get one under your belts. And we can be on the way to getting a reverse sweep here.
Would be the first step that they do need in order to make the reverse sweep this series.
The issue is, though, this was CT's red side. CT being on the loser side now will have map decision, and I don't know, CT remains undefeated on blue side. So blue side is picked for the next game. Syndicate will have to do this again on the red side. And I don't know, man. It's like night and day, it feels, once blue side comes through.
Yeah, that is looking towards the next game, though. And this game definitely looking doomed, but I'll give a small window for Coachless Tyranny, because you do have the Gwen scaling up in the side lane if you're able to hop in. Okay, sequester the team, get the separation.
Nice separation. Ryman's in a very bad spot right now. Agent 6 is going to have to retreat back. Rocky finally having the GA and able to sustain onto the fight. They do find the 2 and a shutdown. They do lose tier 3 top side. And as of right now, this may be the window of opportunity that you just spoke of, opening up slightly.
Yep, you take away 2 Baron buffs.
Knockback, oh, unstoppable there, stopping Crocblock there, but Albedo is there, Everfrost plus the CC coming from Leona. Lot of lockdown there, is going to force him back and away.
Oh, that's a big shutdown on the bot side.
Ezreal finding Viego on the bot lane, that is very serious. Crockpot on the run is going to have to use Forge of the Iron Code to kind of get himself away, but Gwen is immune, you hate to see it, man. And he's going to start to get chipped away. Even with the Baron buffs, I don't think he's going to be able to get it. And that is a shutdown across the map on places that you do not want more money to be falling on.
That is a lot of money, and you stop the Baron buff push. It does cost you one of your inhibitor turrets, which does definitely really suck. But you're able to get these huge shutdowns. You're able to close the gold gap just a decent bit here, and pick up a turret here and there in the bot side. That's something. That's a nice little pickup here to stop the Baron push and get yourself set up for this next dragon fight, where you really want to put yourself in that nice Gucci smoochy position to get yourself not the earliest soul, but as soul at the very least.
I mean, you had a 24-minute soul here. So now, what, a 30-ish soul? I mean, whatever, we take those, right? CT trying to put out the fires here of this game of 3. I don't know if I would necessarily say they are out of the entire fire yet. But they definitely are trying to handle the heat in the kitchen. And I don't know, they might have a chance.
There's a chance. It's still a little bit tricky here. The fact that they are desealing down, this would be a great way to start it off if you get the glass.
Incoming in, they try to get the glass.
Okay.
They do force out the hostile takeover, so that is a very big option away and gone now. So that's big.
They do get out Chung's flash, which can be huge, and they have prio over this pit. But the fact that they don't have the supers pushing in for that free just pressure on the top side means that it's just going to kind of be a bit of a stalemate here while both teams just feel each other out like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, hey, oh, seeing who throws the first blow, seeing who gets the first blow to land. That's a blow to land.
There is going to land, but gets caught up onto the gate there. Can't follow the CC, and it's going to get picked instead. Lightning Storm is coming on down. Thunder Downfall is going to get picked up. There goes the call. The Forge of the Iron Ball is going to get picked up onto the back, and that's going to be the triple kill there on the evil tyrant himself. Gonna have to retreat on back, and I think they may try to force the closeout here.
This could be the game. There is no Baron buff, but you gotta wait pushing in topside. You gotta wait pushing in mid. At the very least, this is double inhibitor.
Zach still unable to get home to try to defend. Even an ult down, they're still looking very strong in this third game. So that's going to be 2 inhibs. I don't know if they're going to be able to fully clear out, but that should be the third drink as well, and be right on their way for Soul. Syndicate looking to see if they have an answer finally, and now it's really going to matter, as long as they can close this out, what they do if CT doesn't give them blue side.
If they don't get blues. If it does come to game 5, that means they've lost 2 in a row, so they would be the losers and have pick priority on sides.
Oh.
Okay, going on in. This would be a big hit.
Everfrost plus the CC Lightning
Oh,
Storm
you
is
missed
going
the
to
juice.
land. Oh, but misses the wombo combo, unable to get the pick. Zeri gonna find 2 there. He's gonna ride the walls and try to find 3. Gets it. Gonna keep looking for a little more. Oh, less than 10%. Literally single digit. Agent C6 finally starting to get the groove going and set the pace here for a 12% extra damage here for this team. TP coming
Teleport
in
from that
for the
too.
Evil Man. Gonna try to finish this one out with 3 members missing over onto the side of CT. The gate yet again, locking down on Albedo, and not gonna be able to defend, and I think this will be game.
Woo! Okay. So, the reverse sweep hope. You to win another 2, but this is the first step that they do need.
And yeah, no, they kept the dream alive. So red side or blue side conquered, very nice. So now all is needed is the blue side conquer of CT. If CT does not give them the side again.
Yeah, Huey, I'm relatively certain that Coachless Tyranny is going to be going back to that blue side. But how about that TD Syndicate, huh? They drafted themselves the Vagar and the Ornn, and they won the game. What do you know, boys? How about that draft diff? But there were a couple of close moments, of course. But really, for me personally, it kind of all broke open around the 24-minute mark when they were able to get that big team fight around the dragon. Once they were able to for sure deny that soul stacking coming through from the side of Coach's Tyranny, then it seemed like TD Syndicate really were in a fair amount of control of the game from that point forward. Huey, was there a moment for you where you really felt like TD Syndicate were gonna be able to push us to that 4th game?
Once Zeri really started to set the pace, and once you saw the pretty much bot difference in this game, it was pretty much set pace there. That team fight really just was very explosive, pushed themselves through, and they just really took all full control and was at the reins throughout that entire game 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Bot lane definitely stepping up big this game for the side of TD Syndicate. Go Farino, I'm curious to get your thoughts as well before we go to our break. What do you think was really the difference maker here in this game number 3? How do you think TD Syndicate was able to pull back and get this victory? And do you think they will be able to repeat that in game number 4?
A lot of it I felt came down to the fact that they were able to get a snowball going, especially for this Viego in the jungle, because you finally had some huge damage threats, and the side of Coach's Tyranny wasn't really able to deal with said threats. Uh, even when you'd see them down, the bailout would come out from the Renata class. So not really able to finish things off. And the Renata class just pairs so well with threats when they get ahead because common idea of League is, oh, let's just dive whoever's the most fed on the enemy team. That didn't work out. Okay, yeah. So we'll get some snowball going with the Renata class.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The Renata Glass, working out pretty well that time around. But yo, Huey, back to you. What kind of adaptations do you think you would like to see from Coachless Tyranny? Obviously their favorite coming in tonight, dropping this one game. Is probably not something they had necessarily in their game plan, but I'm sure that they're still more than capable of bouncing back here. How do you think you would like to see them go about it heading into game four in terms of draft and what their strategy should be going into this next game?
Downfall, also really not going super explosive and super snowbally as well. Make sure top is handled. Continue with the objective secures that you've been having. Um and make sure you continue getting these early objectives and make sure that you secure that third and that fourth one there. The first two super easy, but when it comes down to that third point or that soul point, very big issues there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean that was definitely where CT ran into some trouble in that last game that we just watched. So we will see if they're able to correct, those misfortunes, those errors that they had in their gameplay. But first, we will go to that short break. But Amateur Worlds semifinals will be back, folks, right after this. Don't touch that web browser.